All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Enigma. I am a variety streamer. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Kick, Rumble, and YouTube. Happy Monday, Natty. Thank you for coming in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. We're playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance today. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I really do. Yesterday was beautiful. I actually took a walk down by the river. It was amazing. Probably do it again today if the rain holds off. So let's go ahead and and play this. As we get started today, do me a favor, smash that like button on Rumble and YouTube. You can maybe comment, let people know that I'm here. Go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms. You know, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Kick, Rumble, subscription on YouTube. It's all free. I'm not asking to spend any money. Just asking for help and growth. The more I can grow, the better off I will be. So here we are playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. We started this the other day. Now we're going through and... Oh, give me back my axe. Figuring out where to go next. We did complete the dragon area here. Oh, wait, we did say that they opened up the path to the clock tower for a reason. Hey, Grizzle, good morning. Weekend was great. I hope you had a great weekend too. And here we go. Give me back my axe. Yeah. Back to the clock tower, and we hit the button. I want to see if that part over there is opened up for us. Oh. Stupid thing. So this was released on the Game Boy Advanced about a year or so after Circle of the Moon, which, as we have discussed, was a launch title for the GBA. We played that last week, and of course it is not part of the canon of Castlevania. Went ahead and found that out. Okay, we're going to go up and around. Oh, these things again. I'm very good at falling off of these things. Luckily, the spikes don't kill us. But basically, Castlevania took two different paths after Symphony of the Night. Look at that. See, the console Castlevanias, crap, would be, and I do that so easily. They would go more the 3D route, which is what a lot of developers were trying to do at the time. Was take their franchises and make them for 3D. That's where we get things like Castlevania 64. That's where we get things like Curse of Darkness and things like that. I think it was called Curse of Darkness. I can't remember. But the ones on PlayStation 2 and Xbox, there were plenty of games like that. While the handhelds all went the more SOTEN route, so a lot more of the Metroidvanias are going to be on the Game Boy Advanced and the Nintendo DS, which is where they ended up. And this is part and parcel of it. This is what it is. Ah! This is where I wanted to go. Yes. And now... Oh, I went wrong. Wrong! The defense is wrong! Okay, got you there. Come on, get down. Ooh. One more, one more. There we go. Definitely want to take advantage of, boy oh boy, the experience points as much as we can. This is where I wanted to see if this has been opened now. It hasn't. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, says Enigma. But this is an Igavania, Metroidvania. Iga is kind of he's not the founding father of the Metroidvania because there were plenty of them before that, but he damn sure was one who popularized them. So nothing wrong with that. Here, yep, this will get us our health back. All right, let's see. And just so I know, we're 2753 away from our next level up. I think these harpies are still worth a little bit. No, not as much as I was hoping. The experience system in Igavanias tends to be diminishing returns. So you might fight something like this, and it might give you, let's just say, 1,000 experience points for killing one of these damn things. And then if you spend time leveling up with them, or anywhere, the more you level up, the less they end up being worth later. So yeah, you can grind and level, but the game basically forces you to progress. And there's nothing wrong with that, quite honestly. Okay, I don't know where to go from here. This is not a blind playthrough, but I haven't played this in years, so I don't remember where everything is. So we're gonna... SOTEN was... I've done SOTEN so many times, Symphony of the Night, that it's actually rare for me to not... Yeah, I lucked into remembering where something was. Not because I was really looking... I mean, I was looking for it, but I lucked into it. What can I say? I played through that so many times that I just kind of knew what I was doing. I saw what I'm doing here, but I don't always remember where everything is. So think I can go that way, but we're gonna look and see. We do have what, 3 pieces of Dracula? Is it? Nail and ring. Oh, you have 2 pieces. So we have 3 pieces to go to get everything that we need. This was a boss. So a big hint here. I know there are speedrunners who know this game, know these games like the back of their hand, and go out of their way to find all the little bugs and stuff like that, which is cool. I have nothing but the most respect for that. For those of us who play through games casually, like moi, it never hurts just to make sure you're killing everything and getting yourself experience points. The game can be very brutal. What'll happen, what'll happen is you'll be going along doing your thing, thinking you're doing everything right, and because you didn't spend any time with the grind, all of a sudden, bam! Here comes these really hard monsters, and you have to spend time grinding and leveling up. Crap. Wrong button. And I want to thank those who stopped by yesterday. I did have my first Rumble premium stream. We played through the first Legend of Zelda beginning to end. Had a great time doing that with for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oop, that's not going anywhere right now either. And I did get 3.5 hours of my Rumble Premium in, so that means that this next weekend we'll do something else so I can finish it off. I have to have 5 hours as a Rumble creator, premium creator, and I want to get that out of the way, and that'll be this weekend. But I'm hoping to get all my view hours taken care of. I'm hoping to get all my viewing hours done this week. And believe me, we'll still, anything I make on top, do on top, that's all gravy. So I want to smash that goal and keep it up. There we go. I got that there. I think we're like, what, level 30 something? No, 28. Okay, we're level 28. And we have to figure out where to go next. I think I'm going to go down and around. Let's see. Or maybe I'm supposed to do something up in that transport room. That could be... I made that mistake last time of not using the transport room. Let's see what happens. In the clock tower where we met Death on Friday. Where the hell... Okay. We need an anti-grav jump or something. So we're just going to check to see if that room up there is where we need to go. Seems like every time I make a mistake and not know where I'm going, it's because I should have taken a warp room to somewhere new. Is this... Yep, we can go this way. Flea Man, one of the most annoying enemies in Castlevania lore, along with the Medusa heads. I don't fight that thing because it's a pain in the ass. And these gold Medusa heads will turn you to stone, so we have to be careful of those. I believe there's a save spot. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, let's pop that. Never hurts to keep saving either. Recover your health, recover all your stuff, and have a save. So if we meet our doom, or do something we don't want to do, or if end up somewhere we shouldn't be, we can always load back up the save. Okay, we're gonna go up and around here. This is where we fought that slime boss. It was really easy, by the way. That was a very easy boss. Okay, this is where we met Death. This is the same place I was before, but the aura has changed. Now I see. This is what Death meant when he said there were two castles. Alright, so now we're in a new castle. We're going to have to... Chances are things here are going to be a lot tougher. So we're going to have to be real careful here. Hello, Death. Yes. Death himself takes orders from Dracula. Thank you, Natty. I try. For some reason, Juice Belmont is from New York. I don't know why I chose that, but I did. Full health. There is an economy in this game which beats the hell out of Circle of the Moon's lack thereof of an economy. We'll go back to I'm sure we're going to have to go back to the other castle. Because we didn't unlock everything in there. But this is a very run-down castle. Tall clock. So far, everything I've seen outside of the flea armors are the armored fleamen. Everything else has been the same, so there hasn't been anything really tough. Peeping Eye we've seen before. All right, now I see this gear. We can make that go up. Alright, and there's so far no enemies. Sounds around the Jersey Shore. It could be Jersey Shore. It could be. Juice Belmont. He's got his stuff there. Alright. Those aren't new. That's not new. Yep, that's a heart max up. Hearts in Castlevania, if you're not aware, hearts are ammunition. They aren't life. I guess I get it, but at the same time, it's like, why did you choose? Hearts are supposed to be for life. That's what you would think it is. But in Castlevania games, hearts are ammunition. throws of my sub-weapon, the axe, actually. Blue Medusa heads here. They won't turn you to stone. But they're a pain in the ass, nonetheless. Ooh, okay. Well, that was nothing. And that looks like it can go up. Do I have to do something? That looks very suspicious. Why do I have a feeling I need to bring that bronze dude over here and smash his ass into that wall? Let's see. Come here, big guy. I don't think we can eat the ammo. It would be nice if we could. Complete guess. Got it right. So this is part of the map we've not unlocked in the other castle, so let's see here. This looks like a place where the merchant's supposed to be, but he's not here yet. Yeah, there's nothing here. That's kind of crazy, go nuts. Alright. That was a huge freaking pinball, is what that was. I got lucky with those flea men. I have a feeling I'm supposed to follow that ball. The flea men are unpredictable. That's the problem we have with them. They move completely at random, so I don't know where the ball ran off to, but that's a way to do something else. We'll go in there in a second. We're unlocking map. Okay, see, the ball hit something. To see what it hit. There's armor and stuff in there. Whiskey hears something, or is dreaming of something. Dun, dun. Lucky ring and a raccoon figurine. Okay, well that's for our room. Where there's a room in the first castle that, for lack of a better term, where we're decorating, and that's what some of the stuff we get is furniture for that room. The tall clock and the raccoon figurine are for that room. We'll have to go back to the first castle to put that stuff in our room, and we will do it. But right now we're exploring. We're seeing what we can find. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna run like crazy. Believe it or not, sliding is faster than running. Hey, I made it. I beat the ball. Healing mail. What is healing mail? I know it's not going to be as good as the armor, but when standing still, his armor restores HP slow. Okay, well, we'll hang on to that. And that really unlocked that whole thing. Yeah, see all that? That's cool. Let's save that because that was a puzzle. Took some time. That took some time. Okay. And you can see we're 95.8 now % unlocked castle. I'm guessing 200% is the thing. That's about right. Is the Bronze Guardian back? Nope, he's gone. He served his purpose. Up and around. Here we go. Not a lot of bad guys to fight here. This is the clock tower. Usually the clock tower in Castlevania is a chore. Let's call a spade a spade. It's a chore. Well, this, my friends, is a good old-fashioned boss fight. Let's see what happens. Big old eyeball is what it is. Well, so far, okay, I was gonna say he's not hard so far. to bounce around on me now? Okay. Take it. And now we're 249 experience points. Private eyes. You got banned off Twitter for a week. What did you do this time? You sound like my dad. I'll be watching. Yeah, he will be watching us. The eyes have it. Girl kicked a toddler in the back from behind. Well, I would agree with that. Ooh, there's a life up. I would totally agree with that. Keep your hand. If it's not, even if it's your baby, you shouldn't be kicking a baby. What the hell? So you said they should be. They deserved what they got, or basically they deserved that their ass kicked, and then Twitter said that you were putting violence out there. It's stupid. Wind cloak. Yeah, that's stupid. Dang it. Stop hitting me. People are so damn sensitive these days to stuff like that, to words. It just drives me nuts. Can't say anything anymore. Yeah, it is what it is. Kaiser Knuckle. Bet your ass I want to unlock all the castle. There's a level up. Sound like my dad. My dad left Twitter. He finally left Twitter, but he was so. All he did was was insult people. It was like, why are you doing this? That's my dad. How do I get that? There's something there. I see that that's another thing for the whip, but really? Okay, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again. Whoa, what was that? Disc armor level 2. Well, what I mean, there's a lot of drama going around right now on YouTube and such. I've been taking a tertiary look at it. I don't get involved with the BS and the bullshit that goes on, but I have seen that there's stuff going on. Involving a specific YouTuber that, again, I don't get into that personal tax stuff, but that's how we get whatever that thing for the whip is. It's really not, you know. And in the long and the short of it, it just comes down to people are gonna do stupid things. The YouTuber in question, I used to watch that person some, but there was always something about it about that person that I just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I have no idea what it was, but apparently he's dealing with a lot of backlash right now that he brought on himself. I hate to waste items, but hey, Tempest Kingdom, good to see you. Thank you for coming in today. I hope you had a great weekend. Ah, you bastard! Now this should get this down, right? Yep. The crushing stone. Now, what does the crushing stone do? Is that the one that allows me to break down walls? Can break down some walls. Okay, so that actually is good for the first castle. We can go back to the first castle and unlock stuff. Wrong way. Go this way. What are those things worth? 28.41. 11. Okay. Nothing. Okay, all right. Let's see. But I try not to get involved with any drama like that. You know, truth is that I find myself generally liking most people, and I try to stay away from that drama. I know it's hard to do. When you yourself are involved with creation, you can definitely see how you know, people things are you know, things go. I don't know. I just said I never really looked at that person as someone I really wanted to really watch religiously, but that's just me. Of course, if I mention him by name, he'll probably report me. So. Okay, now we're back in the original castle. And that should mean that we have see, there's color here. Oh, I don't remember you being here. Oh wait, I do remember him being there. I'm in the wrong room. Here I am going to the wrong room. Enigma, you're losing your damn mind. Ah! Harpies! Yeah, I like most of the people in the community too. I haven't really found anybody in the community I don't like. What I don't like is when it spills over into other stuff, and then they start attacking other, people start attacking other people, and I've seen that happen over this whole thing. There we go. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there is a wall. Well, first of all, just because I'm morbidly curious, and I am morbidly curious. This is a way to get over there, right? Yeah. Everyone's got their hot button, There are things that people get offended by and all that, and I understand that. I don't intentionally try to provoke anybody in that. I have fun, but I don't by no means. And am I? Damn it, all them. You are so goofy, Enigma. I don't begrudge people who have their. There we are. Their stuff they have that they have hot button issues. Everyone's got their stuff they're sensitive about. We are all. A lot of us were, at least for me, I was bullied a lot in school, so I tend to I have stuff I don't like either, but I try not to take it all personally if it's nothing that is any skin off my nose. I try to have a good sense of humor. Sometimes I think we just need to take a couple steps back and... Alright, so the castles are related. Did y'all see that? These castles are related. So if you knock down a wall in one, it goes down in the other. So that's interesting to note. That's probably where our merchant will be at some point. Interesting, says Enigma. He's learning. Hey, don't hit me. Okay, so... Oh gosh, I can't... Boy, they figured that out, didn't they? No sliding for Enigma. That ball's gonna beat me. It's all good. What can you do? Well, at least we're unlocking map. That's the important thing. There's a kitty cat over there. And life up, and it looks like that's a book. That's really, I saw that, and that made me laugh, because I played Legend of Zelda yesterday for Rumble Premium. When I saw your post about it, I thought, is he talking about my stream? There's another room over there. I did it in about 3.5 hours, is how long it took me. Okay, no. There's nothing there. We'll have to come back. I'm guessing I'm missing some sort of power because of, you can't just go over those spikes. Yep, did the whole first quest of Zelda. Makes me laugh that I can do it in I did it in 3.5 hours, and I wasn't trying to I wasn't speed running, obviously, because speed running is what people would do it a lot faster than that. But I love that. I love the fact that that game took me months to complete back in the '80s, and now I can do it in 3.5 hours. But this is how it was back then. Oh, it's a great game. I love watching the, no, it didn't. We did Soten in about 9.5 hours. But that's, again, at that and Zelda, I've played them so many times, you know. This game will take longer than that, just simply because I don't remember where everything is. And by everything, I mean anything. I don't remember where anything is. And if y'all don't think I'm going to play the new Castlevania when it comes out and stream it for you guys, you have another thing coming. I most certainly am. Okay. There we go. I do want to make sure that, yeah, that's what I like doing, is just having fun, telling folks what game, these games mean to me, all that. I just like to have fun. I know there's folks that are like really competitive about some stuff, and I mean that's how they have fun, and I'm perfectly cool with that. But I am not that guy either. There's a reason why I don't play Fortnite or any, Overwatch or anything like that. Well, I don't play Overwatch because I'm not a tool, but I'm just not an overly competitive kind of guy. I'd rather play games with people to help each other than I would than to, kill them. My problem with games like Fortnite, and I'm not at all, saying Fortnite sucks, because I know it doesn't. But people spend so much time in those games that they become so good. They memorize maps, they memorize spawn points, they memorize all this stuff, it's just so difficult for someone as a casual gamer to come in and enjoy a game like that because there's people take it so seriously. I had no idea what you were doing. And to me, if you're taking the game so seriously, you're not having any fun because games aren't. I'm sorry, but they're not serious. Oh, come on, you bitch. They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be stress relieving and all that. And to me, if you're overly competitive, you're not having as much. I mean, if you're just not having as much fun because it's too serious. But that's just my opinion. Well, I'm doing it for a living now, but yeah, that's how I feel. I just okay. I had 3 stints with WoW. I played it when it first came out. Because I had some friends who played it. And we played for a bit. And then I played it when the Lich King came out. Wrath of the Lich King. Really enjoyed that. And then I have... My ex-girlfriend was I don't know if she still is or not because she's my ex, was really big into WoW, and when we were dating I played with her, and then when when we broke up I quit. I didn't want to play it anymore. She got pissed. She got really pissed I quit. Lich King was really good. I would say Lich King is probably the best expansion WoW has ever done. So somewhere in the ether, I still have my... well, she's not max level anymore, but I have a paladin, Blood Elf paladin that's... pretty pretty high up in level. I got Danhausen. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Lich King was very good, and then after that, it just the people they're still releasing expansions for it because millions are still playing it, so they're still making money off of it. And if people want to know why there's not a WoW 2, that's because they've not had to make a sequel to WoW, because people are still playing WoW 1. But the folks who are doing stuff on WoW right now are literally standing on the shoulders of giants. Actually, figuratively. I hate it when people do that, so I shouldn't do it either. They're figuratively standing on the shoulders of giants. The people who all made WoW what it was are all no longer there, and they've replaced them with folks that. Okay, see, there's a wall, so now we should be able to equip the stone. There we go. And knock it down. Oh, okay. Well, I can't go anywhere there yet. And it's not that I don't like WoW. That's why, but I just didn't. I stopped playing because of the fact that when we broke up, I just was like, well, I have no reason to play this anymore, so I quit. And because I like MMOs, but MMOs are dangerous. Final Fantasy XIV is a prime example of that. If I got back into Final Fantasy XIV, it would be dangerous. Of course, when I played it, there was jerks on there, so I didn't care for that. Exactly. The folks who are involved with WoW now, who develop for WoW now, they really have they only know what they have. Is popular, and they really don't know anything more than that, except that it's popular and people like it, so they're going to continue making it, and they're going to continue putting it out there for people to, making expansions for it because that's their job. But they're not doing anything new or imaginative or anything like that. It's just let's just raise the level cap 10 levels and put a bunch of new enemies in there. Same game, same thing. So I think Legion was the last expansion that I ended up playing. Did they squish all levels? Did they make everybody start over? That would piss me off. I don't think a lot of people realize that the people who made WoW, who actually made the original WoW, they were playing EverQuest, and they were taking notes and looking at what does EverQuest do poorly that we can do better, and they made their game based off of that. They made WoW based off of, here's what EverQuest does well, here's what it could improve upon, what can we do to make the formula better. And I toot my own horn a lot when I come up with a prediction that's actually correct, but I also am smart enough and I'm not taking myself seriously enough to say that when I make wrong predictions that I think that they're funny. And WoW came out the same day. I think they did. Is EverQuest even still online? I don't even know if people still play it. Anyway, but I mean, EverQuest was huge. So when they released EverQuest 2, it launched the same day as WoW. And I remember picking up WoW and going, "Oh, this isn't going to work. There's no way this is going to work. They're releasing the same day as EverQuest. This is so stupid. Why would they do that?" Well, famous last words. I was wrong. WoW crushed it. All right. Okay, well, down there. How the hell did I get here? Of course, I remember EverQuest is I don't know if they still own it, but Sony are the ones who came up with Sony Online were the ones who came up with EverQuest. And when I first started working for GameStop, I was training in a store that's run by a guy who's still a friend of mine to this day. He ran the store out of Fox Valley Mall. I don't even know if that's still there because malls are basically dead now in America. But he had never met the Xbox game he didn't like. Like, he was an Xbot all the frickin' way. He was just totally in love with anything that Microsoft would shit out. And he would go home. Give me a second on that. I'll tell you about that in a second. And he would go home and make mock-up box art for games he said were going to come out on Xbox, and we'd put them on the shelf and say, "Hey, pre-order your copy of this." Well, he put up EverQuest was coming out on Xbox, and I was like, "You know that that's never going to happen, right?" And he's like, "No, I read it's going to happen." And I was like, "No, it's not going to happen." And he goes, "Well, how do you know?" I said, "Because it's made by Sony, you dork. Sony is not going to allow one of their games to come out on their freaking competitors' consoles. If they're going to put it out on any console, it's going to be their own." And of course, it never came out on PlayStation or Xbox. But he was dead set that it was coming out on Xbox. And the guild thing, yes. When WoW first started, everybody was nicer. Now, the Horde was better to play in than the Alliance. There was a lot of Alliance people that were dicks in WoW's early days. But if you played with the Horde, if you were walking around town and let's just say you were level 10 in the Horde, if someone saw that you needed gear, or someone saw you were only level 10, they'd come up and give you some gold just so you could afford to go get some better standard some gear. And they didn't have to do that, but it was just something that they did because they were very nice to be in. Are they still? I wouldn't. Like I said, I haven't played in a while, so I wouldn't know. But to me, playing, as much as ugly as the characters were, and I didn't really play Horde until the Blood Elves came out, because I made a hot ass Blood Elf paladin. They were always nicer. It was always nice, very nice people. Oh, that's a locked door. Yep. Okay. But they were always. I would if I were to go back and play again. I'm not going to say I'll never play it again. I might. I would go back and play as still my Blood Elf Paladin. I would play as Horde. People are so much nicer in the Horde. course, I don't know how many people are beginners getting into WoW these days. That's something else to think about. Oh, come on. There. I don't see how... Well, let's try that. I want to explore more of this castle, but... of the first castle, but I don't think, they're gonna allow me to do that. Yeah, wrong button. It's the wrong button! Okay. See, that wall is probably... this is probably going to be knocked down in the other castle, and then that wall will be knocked down. I used to tell people that all the time. Because you'd always get these guys in town, if you went to town. The major hubs, anyway. Who wants to power level me? Dude, go do some quests. You'll level up a lot faster than anyone power leveling you. No, I need somebody to power level me. No, you really don't need somebody to power level you. You need to go and do quests. And they made a lot of quests easier too. I remember there was a quest, I think it was in the jungle, the Strangle Wood or whatever it was called, where you had to collect pages of a diary or of a book, and in the original versions you had to you had to collect the pages, but there would be exact pages you needed. It would be like you'd find page 5 times, when in reality you needed page 20, and it was a pain in the ass. Yeah, the Stranglethorn papers, that's right. And now it's you just collect one page and you've collected the whole book, because that was a pain in the ass quest. You'd have people running around going, I need this page, and you go, I got 6 of this page, I need that page. That was a fun area, though, when you get down to it, though, because I liked doing the hunts there. There was like they had hunts on major creatures, tigers and panthers and all that. That was fun. I liked that area. Okay, we're back here. That was a fun area, though. I really liked that. See, you were nice. Put them in the guild bank so other people wouldn't have to go and hunt them all down. I still have in my bank I always, whenever there was something I thought was really, really cool, I would put it in my bank because of how, of the reference. And I found a bag. I don't think you can. I don't know if you can get this anymore, but it was the Six Demon Bag, which is a direct reference to Big Trouble in Little China. And I was like, oh, I'm saving that because it was so cool. I got one in my bank. I do remember that. It's hard to get? Okay. I didn't know if they removed it. I know they removed some stuff from the game. There are certain items that that if you have them, they are difficult to get. Of course, I also remember that we would go and I would go and with when I was part of a guild in that game. I'd have to, if I ever play it again, I'll have to get with a new guild. They would do the Scarlet Monastery. We would run that because of the shield. You'd want the Scarlet Monastery shield to get it for warriors. I agree. I absolutely agree. Especially if you're doing the pop culture references like the Six Demon Bag. I thought, that's cool. And then I set out to collect mounts. I was doing that. I would do... there are what the hell, dude? Okay, I see. There are... bosses you can only kill once a week. Like Onyxia. Yeah, shield did kick ass. Where Onyxia, you have like a 1 in whatever chance it is to get the epic mount from Onyxia, and you can only do it once a week. So once a week I go kill Onyxia, and I finally end up getting the mount. Got hit by that thing again. I also got the Phoenix from the Burning Crusade, the epic mount, the Flying Phoenix. I thought that was really cool. I don't know if I ever got that one. I've got a bunch of mounts, I know, but I haven't played it in over 10 years. Because, well, actually it's over 11 years now, because I quit when I broke up with my ex. So I know there's a whole ton of new mounts and stuff like that that are in that game that I've not, that if I ever decide to play again, I would have to go try to find and hunt. Of course, for me, it would probably be like playing a whole new game, because I know they've added so much. Oh, are you kidding? Did I go the wrong way? I did. Goofball. But it was my goal to own all the mounts. I wanted to own all the mounts, so... And you could buy them. Some of them you could buy, but... several of them you can't. I remember Onyxia being one that everybody wanted because it was a very rare drop, and Onyxia wasn't hard, at least not until I think they updated the raids to where if you wanted to make them artificially hard for people to do it, you could, for that boss. But I go in there once a week. I kill Onyxia all by my lonesome. And I eventually got the mount. See, I knew it. There's a bunch of these walls that we let me equip. I had some awesome armor in that game too. I would make it to where it was you transmog, and I would transmog into some. I had some really cool like paladin angelic looking armor. Loved that armor. So cool. I'm sure they have better armor, better looking armor now, but for me it was all I wanted was that freaking armor. That's awesome. I think you got it for doing the Cataclysm boss. Cataclysm and boss. Another place there for that. Another... It's locked. Okay, well then why am I bother doing all this if they're gonna keep me from moving anywhere? I know we make fun of, I mean, it's easy to make fun of things like this. There was a young lady on YouTube, I don't know if she still does stuff on YouTube or not, but she was doing a review of Cataclysm when it came out. And in her review, she kept calling it Cataclysm. It was World of Warcraft Cataclysm. It was Cataclysm. I was laughing my ass off. And then she realized after, because everybody was telling her, it's not Cataclysm, it's Cataclysm. And then she kind of was like, oh, I feel stupid now. Cataclysm. I'm not making fun of the girl, because I pronounce things wrong all the time, so it's not, but it was just funny, and then afterwards she she reloaded the video up and goes, I understand I said it wrong. Sorry. You got your World of Warcraft Cataclysm. That thing hits me every time. Gotta have a sense of humor about that kind of stuff if you mispronounce something or whatever. It happens. Happens to all of us. They will not make WoW 2 until WoW 1 stops becoming less profitable. Well, let me put it like this. They're already working on it. Okay, they've probably got a whole bunch of stuff set up for it already, but they're not going to split their market. They're going to wait on that. They'll just let it go. Until WoW 1 becomes does not make money, they will continually support, or they will continually support that, and not work on or release WoW 2. Okay, so just they have no reason to, and as long as people keep giving them money for WoW 1, they're going to continue with WoW 1. Okay. That's not where I want to go. I can't go there. Okay, Wisp, you can lay down. Good boy. So for everyone who keeps asking why haven't they released WoW 2, it's because they don't have to. And they won't do it until they're forced to, until it becomes something they have to do for money. They don't have to do it. They just keep making money. People, how many subs does WoW have? It used to be like 15, 16 million people a month. And I'm sure it's not that many now, but it's still enough to where they're making money off of it. Okay, that's not, can't go anywhere there. As long as they don't have to do it, they won't. That's a sealed door, yep. Keep trying to figure out where to go. No, wait. Oh, that's better. Okay. You can actually, okay, 2 castles. God, they can. It's weird. That's the true reason they don't make WoW 2 is because they don't have to. Or well, they're working on it. We know they're working on it. They're working on everything, but they don't have to. They can continue standing on the shoulders of the people that they were before them. WoW was a really ambitious project. That's the whole thing. And like I said, the people who did WoW 1 looked at EverQuest, which was king. EverQuest was the king at that point, and recognized what they were doing right and recognized what they were doing wrong, and wanted to fix it, and wanted to make the game better. So that's where WoW came from. That's where WoW came from. here and over there I see. Okay, let's see if we can do that. And if you ever wonder why things are the way that they are, or why they don't do this, or why they don't do that, always follow the money. It used to be, well, with AAA, always follow the money. When you're talking about independent games, completely different. Because independent games, independent developers are trying to build a loyal audience. So they're actually doing things like the folks who did Clair Obscure Expedition 33, they gave away a lot of stuff because they have a lot of goodwill with their fans right now, and they're thinking about, okay, well, we could nickel and dime them for extra stuff now, or we can give it away for free, which wouldn't cost us a lot because it's already there or whatever, and it'll give us a leg up when we do Expedition 34 or when we do whatever game we're doing next. Dang it. So usually just follow the money. AAA always follow the money because that's where it is. Gaming got really, in the 90s, gaming was really, really hot, and there was a lot of good stuff that came out. But the Sony coming into the market is really what overly corporatized the whole thing, the AAAs anyway, and made them more profitable, but it also made them more obsessed with profits. So no one's doing it for the love of the game anymore. Okay, this is where I wanted to go. And of course, we can thank Nintendo for all of that. That's the whole thing. Is Nintendo's the one who really forced Sony's hand into coming into gaming to begin with. Now, it's very possible that Nintendo's problems were valid with Sony getting involved. Basically, everybody most people know that the PlayStation is actually the Super Nintendo CD, which is Nintendo worked with Sony on. Yeah, it was a Nintendo PlayStation. And basically, Sony gets up on stage at CES, Computer Entertainment Expo, or whatever it's called, and says, "Hey, we're working with Nintendo on this," and they showed off the Nintendo PlayStation, and Nintendo got cold feet because they thought Sony was getting too handsy with gaming. They thought that it was going to be that Sony was basically going to push them out, and it's very possible that's what was going to happen. So Nintendo was fighting for and they canceled the partnership with Sony at the same place and partnered with Philips instead. Yeah, they created they literally created their own villain because Sony had so much egg on their face after saying, "Hey, look what we're doing." And Nintendo's like, "Yeah, no, we're not." At the 4 hours, 12 hours later, whatever it was the next day. Here comes Sony, Nintendo saying, "Yeah, we're working with Philips instead." Well, when that happened, here's Sony with egg on their face, embarrassed that they just got, you know, like I said, they just got embarrassed on a worldwide stage. That's where we got the PlayStation from. Then Sony took all that technology, and that's where they made the PlayStation. And again, it's very possible that Sony was looking to push out Nintendo. It's very possible, but we'll never know. All we know is that Sony was so pissed off that they turned around and oh, okay. Check that out. That's interesting. These transport places all basically are Castlevania. I see, says the blind man to his deaf wife. Okay, let's go back to the clock tower, because I don't like. Okay, yeah. Go back to the other castle. But they did. They created their own competition. They created their worst enemy, and to this day, it has rued the way business has been done in games because of what Nintendo did. It's all Nintendo. I know people have a lot of love for Nintendo. I'm one of them. But that being said, they have made a lot of dumb decisions in their day. They made a lot of good decisions, but they made a lot of dumb ones too. But there's a multiverse out there. There's a different universe out there where, at least one, where the Nintendo PlayStation came out. Don't know what happened with it. Because Sony and Nintendo had worked together before. The sound chip in the Super Nintendo, the reason why the music is so good, sounds so good on Super Nintendo hardware, is because that sound chip is made by Sony. Sony was mostly known for audio equipment before the PlayStation. They made a lot. They were the ones who made the Walkman. They were one of the patent holders on compact discs. They were known as a music company. They weren't really known as, they didn't according to what I read, is that the heads up on the board at Sony thought video games were kid stuff. They looked at them as toys. They didn't think it was a big deal. And it wasn't until they got embarrassed where they decided that they were going to directly take on Nintendo. And of course, their first, well, there's several casualties in the war from Sony. Panasonic, but Panasonic was a failed experiment to begin with. Atari, with the Jaguar, never stood a chance. But Sega was the one they took down first. I don't like these fast travels. Don't fast travel. Let's see, where the hell are we? This is correct. I grew up a Nintendo kid, but Sega had great games too. I never, I grew up a Nintendo kid, but I still, uh, and I was the same way. I thought, oh, I don't mind getting a Sega. Sega sucks. And then my neighbors sold me their Sega Genesis and Sega CD and their games for like $100. And the next thing I know, I'm like, hey, Sega's got some pretty good shit. And that's when I realized you should be limiting your consoles to one brand. Usually is not smart. Every console is worth owning. Every platform is worth owning for something. Wrong way. Of course, I'm also when my first game job I got, I was in Central Arkansas, and Conway, Arkansas, and they had that was a more of a Sega territory. Gaming was very used to be very. Let's see, add stuff. Sega would they were big into Sega there because of mostly the sports games. For the most part, the Super Nintendo was a superior technological console for the most part. It wasn't completely though, because of the processor. The processor in the Genesis was faster than that of the Genesis. Hey, Alucard, good to see you. Yeah, 340 on YouTube now. 10 away, or 10 away from 350. 160 away from monetization. You are 100% correct, Grizzled. Sega had some pretty good ones too. The Phantasy Star games in particular, especially Phantasy Star 4, very, very good. But the SNES RPGs were legendary. Breath of Fire, Final Fantasy, just game, Super Mario RPG, so many good ones. Blast processing was indeed a marketing gimmick. There was no such thing as blast processing, but they still had a faster processor. So when you look at games that were on the Sega Genesis, sports games tended to perform better because it had a better processor than the Super Nintendo did. Plus, Sega had a really good relationship with Electronic Arts at the time, so they were getting... I can remember, seriously, I can totally remember, I think it was... I don't remember the year it was, but the Sega Genesis was the first one to get a college football game that had all the teams on it, all the Division I colleges, which is hundreds of schools, by the way. They were the first one to get that, and since I lived, in Arkansas, is definitely a huge college football market because of the University of Arkansas, the Razorbacks. We sold a shit ton of that game and it wasn't on Super Nintendo. It was only on Genesis. Yeah, Landstalker was good. Of course, then the Sega CD had some excellent RPGs as well. But the Super Nintendo had a superior sound chip, as we talked about. Sony developed it for them. And it also had far more colors than the Genesis did. So games looked a lot better on the Super Nintendo as well, because they had a much more extensive color palette. Don't poison me, bro. I got poisoned. Do a quick safety. Ah! Quick safety save. But if you were playing sports games, you were better off usually on the Genesis. Just saying. Or Mega Drive to those who called it the Mega Drive. UK. Europeans. Okay. Sure I'm going the right way. There we go. 20 minutes, it'll be free! And then it'll conquer Earth. After 20 minutes, I will be free! So how was your weekend, Alucard? Ah, I got turned to stone. When I get stoned. Train yourself for your next stream. What are you going to stream next, Alucard? There you. Oh, you sorted while he meets a destiny me? You're pulling the secret? Okay. It took me 3.5 hours to do Legend of Zelda yesterday for Rumble Premium, Alucard. 3.5 hours. Fine, he'll tell me. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. If it's a secret, it's a secret. Alright. So the game is going to do... It's going to let me go... I mean, it's... I wanted to go back and unlock, but apparently the game is going to leave me alone until both castles are, wherever. You finally learned Simon's Quest. Well, look at you. Best advice I offer anybody on Simon's Quest is don't believe anything the townspeople tell you. They actually tell you in the game, they actually tell you in the instruction manual not to believe what you hear from your townspeople because they are known to be mistaken or openly lying to you. We did unlock all of that. Okay. The perfect route to be it fast to get the best ending. Oh, look at you. Simon's Quest is a forgiving game. It's much easier than Castlevania 1 or Castlevania 3. Another boss. Alright, here we go. Oh, I remember this thing, the Legion. Get hit. Okay, alright. Stop shooting me. Got it. Bloodlines is challenging too. But then again, it's you, so. Castlevania 1 is challenging, but doable. 2 is much more forgiving. 3 is a beast. It's so hard. 4 is challenging, but fair. Just giving Simon the ability to whip in all those different directions really was great. Kettle hat. Put down here. And then we go to, Bloodlines is challenging as well. Rondo of Blood is very, very challenging. Have you done Rondo of Blood? You can beat it in 18 minutes. Damn, dude. 3 is challenging. 3 is very challenging. One of the hardest games on the Super Nintendo, honestly. I would put it's a top 5 hard game on the SNES. You've only beaten it once. Yeah, I've never beaten it. I beat 1 once. But one you can cheese for those who are aspiring Castlevania fans. One you can actually do. The holy water. The holy water is your friend. In the original Castlevania. It stun locks damn near everything. So you can throw it even at bosses. You can throw it at the Grim Reaper, and he won't be able to move, and you just continue to pelt him with the holy water, and he will he'll die. Yeah. Cross holy water. I always like the axe as my favorite sub-weapon, but with all due seriousness, it doesn't stun lock anything, and it's useful. You know, I just like the axe because first of all it's an axe, but also because it has the arc over your head, which is in Castlevania 1, Simon has no defense for the overhead. So flying enemies and things like that you can use the axe for. The mummy bosses, I never really thought the mummy bosses were that difficult. But they are, they're susceptible to the clock. You could actually stop them with the clock and just pound them. But trust me, you want the holy water through damn near the entire game. We got Danhausen there. How close are we? 528 to our level up. Cross for the mummies, really. I remember the clock could take out the mummies. I do remember the clock you could stop. That was the only enemy you could do that for. Basically, the original Castlevania, for the most part, up until you get to the Frankenstein, everything is pretty simple. It's not that difficult. Then you get to Frankenstein, and everything dials up quite a bit in difficulty. Leading up to the Grim Reaper, that hallway before the Grim Reaper is a gauntlet that, if you can get through that, because you've got flea men, you've got Medusa heads, and you've got Axe Knights. And the Axe Knights take a shit ton of hits. And at the same time they're throwing axes at you, you have to worry about all of the Medusa heads and flea men at the same time. And the Medusa heads continuously spawn. The flea men don't, but just trust me, guys. It's a bear. It's an absolute bear. That hallway leading up to Grim Reaper is an absolute beast to get through. Shit. So the Medusa, the vampire bat, Medusa, the mummies, even those stages, yeah, they're challenging, but they're not that difficult. But once you get to Frankenstein's area, that's his stage, the game turns it way up in difficulty, and you. Oh, that's right. You can. There we go. Really? That's interesting. Maybe one of these days I'll do Castlevania 1. As long as I have to be prepared for how difficult the game is. Because the game is so difficult. But if you want to, if for those who are wondering, if you're looking to play an old school Castlevania, like the old school, Super Castlevania 4 is about as good of a game as you're going to find. Great, the difficulty's not too crazy. It is difficult, but it's not. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it, and I did it. Not difficult. Not that. I mean, it's not impossibly difficult. Just really well done game. Closer we will level 31 now. Yeah, it's really, really good. That last stage before Dracula, though, that's a bitch. Ooh. Oh God, hold the frickin' phone. Let's try that again. Good gravy. The three fiends and then Dracula on one power bar. And Dracula has two forms. Not as impossible as Rondo of Blood. Rondo of Blood. Yeah, that's one you need to do, Alucard, is Rondo of Blood. That is a beast, to say to be kind. Rondo of Blood is probably harder than 3, quite honestly. Especially since Rondo of Blood, there are branching paths. So you might not... and a secret unlockable character, if you do it right, you can actually have, like I said, there's a secret character, and she's really powerful. It's Maria. You get her as a little girl. She's really powerful. A lot of people who speedrun that game swear by it, that if you're going to do it, you have to have Maria. Even though there are speedrunners who do it with just Richter. Okay, let's go back up. Oh. Let's walk right over that thing. Yeah, they did. I agree. They didn't get lazy with a second form and frickin' Rondo of Blood. Here's the secret to Dracula in Castlevania 4. This right here is the secret to surviving Dracula, because you can use that for his fireballs and stuff, and that is not useful at all through the entire game until Dracula. And then it's like, I found it by mistake. I was like, oh shit, that actually works. Simon's Quest is very disappointing in that area. There are 3 bosses in the whole game, and you only have to fight one of them. There's that face, and then there's Death, and then there's Dracula, and you can walk right by Death and that face. But like I said, Dracula's the one you gotta fight. Two? There's three. Unless you're saying Dracula doesn't count, but you can, two of them you just walk right by. Yeah, you'll miss a couple of items. Oh, you do? Okay, I don't remember. And you're the Castlevania aficionado. But it doesn't surprise me that it's unfinished. It feels unfinished. You learned that yesterday. 2 out of 3 mentor. I didn't know about. I don't remember about the face, the chick face. Now, not to mention, they're not hard. When it comes down to fighting them, you don't have to fight like Death, but Death is not difficult. You can spam him with one of the, with the, and I think you get the golden knife for him, right? Which is how you can cheese Dracula, is with the golden knife. Damn. When you get to Castlevania, where there are no enemies in Castlevania, by the way, you just go and turn in everything to the altar, and then Dracula appears. All you gotta do is spam that golden knife, sacred flame. Yeah, the sacred flame or the knife, and he'll never move. You just stunlock him, and he only has one form, and that's it. It is very, very easy. The hardest part of 2 is figuring out what you can believe and what you can't believe, because like I said, the townspeople they lie to you. They don't tell you the truth. They'll lie, or they just give you misinformation. A lot of the time, that's what they were doing. They're all in town telling me about Dracula, and I'm like, you're fake news. No one believes you. You're fake news. Yeah, the blobs. And the fake floors. There are invisible pits in the floors. Which is kind of why you need the holy water. Is because there's no ammunition in the game. You basically just you can throw the holy water and such as much as you want. Which is all fine and good. Enough of you. But you basically have to spam the holy water. You just throw the holy water again when you're in those mansions, so you can find out which floors are fake and which are not. So it's an easy game. It's an easier game than the other two for certain. It's actually one of the easiest. It's a very easy game, but it takes time. There's a life increase, but I can't get it. What does the hint card say? We got another hint card. The red book and the dagger share a secret. Well, no shit. think that's all of that. Yeah, there's still one piece down there we haven't unlocked. They were sitting there talking, and I was like, that's fake news. It was the second issue of Nintendo Power it was in. And apparently the cover of the magazine gave kids nightmares, so Nintendo had some problems with that. Nintendo used to give equal coverage to a lot of their third parties, which was smart of them to do, but they got silly towards the end. That's true. No, there's no way anyone's going to figure out that frickin' tornado. But Nintendo used to give coverage to all their third parties. 38 to go. But then they got silly with promoting their own games at the expense of the third parties. When Chrono Trigger, Nintendo used to, with Nintendo Power, Nintendo used to have they call it the Players Pulse Awards, where they would mail you in the magazine. There would be a card that you could fill out to vote for the games of the year. Best RPG of the year, best sports game of the year, or best game, best graphics, best music, all that. And the year Chrono Trigger had been released and Square had basically announced they were leaving to go to Sony. Okay, so they had announced that they're going to support the PlayStation with Final Fantasy VII, and that was something that really pissed off the higher ups of Nintendo of Japan. Like, really pissed them off. They really didn't like that. So in Nintendo Power, the players voted for Chrono Trigger to be Game of the Year, and this is when I canceled my subscription to Nintendo Power. This is no shit. In the congratulatory paragraph where they're supposed to be talking up how great Chrono Trigger is, they spent more... Shithead. The entire paragraph was talking about how Donkey Kong Country 2 had superior music, superior graphics, and superior gameplay, but Chrono Trigger still won. And I was like, that's supposed to be about Chrono Trigger, and you spend more time talking about your own game than you do about the one that your customers voted in. $4.90. Okay, so these aren't worth that much. And I wish I was kidding about that, but I'm not. It was... I was pissed off that they had done that. Oh, okay, so now that we have the Crush Stone, we can knock that down. Of course they did. But they're pissed off. They're not pissed off that Paramount's buying Warner. They're pissed off because of it's Orange Man's son-in-law. That's why they're pissed off. Absolutely, the entire reason why they're pissed off is because Orange Man's son-in-law is the one who's going to own Warner Brothers and Paramount, and they cannot stand that. They can't have that. That's just horrible. I gotta... The hell, dudes? So they oppose it, but the truth is that Netflix would have been worse. If Netflix would have been able to buy Warner, it would have actually done more to destroy the Hollywood model of distribution, because Netflix doesn't give a shit about the theaters. They don't give a shit about physical media. All they give a shit about is getting people to subscribe to their service. That's all they care about. But Paramount is actually a movie company, and they're gonna have they're gonna use the system that they that Hollywood uses for movies and stuff like that. It's 100% what it'll be. So it's better for the industry for that to happen. And what would really be better for everybody is if Warner were to remain independent. But since that's not happening now, because Warner's up to their tits in debt. I saw it coming, and I still... when he does that, you can't hit him. That's weird. But that's how stupid they are, is that they're so blinded by their hatred of one person that they can't... Oh, wait, we have Maxim here. Oh, I see you're still alive. Maxim! No, you're not Maxim. You're on to me. What the hell are you? I am myself, just not the me that you knew in the past. This man's suppressed desires, coupled with his possession of Dracula's remains, gave rise to a separate spirit, and that other spirit is me. I'm not sure if he's even aware of my existence. And it was also you who kidnapped Liddy. Of course it was. She belongs to me. But he went and lost his memory and doesn't even know where she is. But he will retrieve his memory soon. Retrieve. And when he does, she'll be all mine. Damn, yo. Sure about that? If I die, your best friend will perish with me. Your death is at hand. Die, you vile dog. Okay, so he's... Alright, he's like the shadow, okay. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows. Ruby Rose claims Katy Perry sexually assaulted her at a nightclub. Well, Ruby Rose is kind of... I mean, for lack of a better term here, nice. She's kind of persona non grata right now because of what she did with the Batgirl thing, Batwoman. Where she kind of came out and was like, oh, they treated me really poorly. And then everyone came out after that and was like, actually, no, you're just kind of a bitch. But the last time I checked, Katy Perry isn't exactly sane either, so... I mean, Katy Perry was so nuts that Russell Brand divorced her. And if you look at him, Russell Brand is nowhere nearly as attractive as Katy Perry is. But Katy Perry is apparently no. Well, she's with Justin Trudeau now, right? So, but she sexually assaulted Ruby Rose. That's interesting. I have questions. And I realize there's more to it than being hot, okay, but Katy Perry is, I think she has to be in the news some way or another. She doesn't feel like she's done anything. Okay, we can't get there, can't get there. So what now? I mean, we've done... Oops. Okay, go this way. John Wick star. I don't know why I'd call her a star. But basically with her, she kind of... She claimed on Batwoman that they didn't take care of her, that she hurt herself a lot, and they didn't do anything to take care of her. And, she was really the only one who had that kind of claim, so that's why they replaced her after the first season. But that show was doomed from Jump Street. Because they have to go out there and do the whole virtue signal thing, and that's really what it was. It was just nothing more than a great big frickin' virtue signal. It's Batwoman, and did we mention that she's gay? But to be fair, she's gay in the comics too, so it's not like they changed the character. To fit an agenda. They put the character, they gave the character a show for the agenda. That's for damn sure. But they didn't change anything. They didn't swap her. Well, they did race swap her in the second season. But of course, that's also back when they were trying to preserve the Arrowverse. The Arrowverse was a big deal for a minute. I used to love watching Arrow, and then it got silly. We didn't get anything for whipping that Shadow's ass. And we're still on two separate sides of the castle. We can't get down there. Still missing powers. I don't like it when we're missing a power. Where are we supposed to go next? Because we can't go down that way. I got fed up with Arrow. I can't remember what season it was, but Oliver Queen was elected mayor of the city, and they did it. They decided to take on gun rights in the episode, and one of his allies uses guns and was very much a gun advocate, and they were looking for a way to skirt the issue where because we have this thing called the Second Amendment, which is in the Bill of Rights, and at the end of the episode, he says, "Look, I'm signing a bill right now that still has gun control, but still respects the Second Amendment." And I'm like, "How? What? What do you have? What are you citing? What does it say?" And I just like, this is so stupid, so I quit watching because it didn't make any sense to me. Oh, so she got sexually assaulted 20 years ago by Katy Perry, and she's just not talking about it. Yeah, someone's desperate to reignite their career. That's what that is. Because her career is dead. Her career is dead. After Batwoman, the whole Batwoman debacle, she lost everything. No one really wanted to work with her. And now she's bringing this stuff up because she's trying to get back in the good graces. She's trying to say that she's a survivor. Okay, so this is where we were. And there ain't shit here. Personal responsibility is is really the big difference between what a lot of people have that divides both sides right now. Is that you have one side who believes that everyone is a victim of circumstance. Everyone's a victim of something. That there's no real bad people out there, except the people who disagree with them politically. And the other side is not that way. It's much more realizing that a gun is a tool. A gun is no different than any other tool. Now, what it's made to do is take a life, yes, but it's still a tool. Sometimes there are bad people. Absolutely there are. But it's high time we stopped thinking that people who are bad, that just because someone disagrees with you politically doesn't make them a bad person. Because it all the thing is, it all falls on its face in the long run, because you have, where the hell am I supposed to go? That's the weird thing. Oh, wait a minute. No, actually. Stop it. I'm hitting the wrong button. That's where we are. Castle A and B. Not all rooms are transport rooms. Okay. The last movie she was in was probably John Wick. She was in Batwoman after that. Batwoman was the last thing that she was in. And again, she lasted one season. She was one season, and then she left, and she threw shade at everybody involved with the production, saying that they didn't protect her, that she got hurt, and they still forced her to work despite being hurt. And apparently everybody and their grandmother came out and was like, no, that's not what happened at all. You were just a diva, and none of that happened. So, since Batwoman, she has not done anything that I'm aware of. But, then again, she was cast... Why was she cast in Batwoman? Because she's... Isn't she, like, non-binary or something like that? That's true, Grizzle. They don't ban cars. Not yet. But like in the UK, they've banned guns, but they now, because there's no guns, people are using knives. Now they want to ban knives. So the thing is, it's never enough. Instead of not realizing that, yes, there are bad people out there who do bad things, and when you handcuff yourself from being able to defend yourself with not having a weapon to be able to defend yourself, the criminals don't pay attention to laws. That's that's why all you're doing when you pass laws banning things like that is you're hurting your... Okay, still can't do that. You're hurting your law-abiding citizens. Exactly. She's just a lesbian. Okay, I thought she was non-binary, but... They had to have someone that... They couldn't just cast anybody in that role. It had to be somebody that was... part of that community. Because it was a great big virtue signal. All the Bat characters they could have made a TV show off of. They chose her for a reason. Oh, whatever makes her happy. She's gay, she's gay. I don't care. Exactly, Grizzled. We have millions of guns in this country. If they made them all illegal tomorrow and started confiscating them, the only people that would be that would have weapons at that point would be law enforcement and criminals. So they would not have. So you would not have any way to defend yourself. I wouldn't have any way to defend myself because we obey laws. But they don't care. Nightwing would have been a better series, yeah. Birds of Prey was... Are you talking about the TV show, or are you talking about the movie? Because the movie was a piece of hunkin' shit. The TV show wasn't much better, but it had some good-looking women in it. Of Birds of Prey, yeah. Birds of Prey, the movie, we actually tried to watch that here. And we got about 15 minutes into it, and Desi looked at me and said, just turn this shit off. This is so bad. And so I was like, okay. So we turned it off. Do I have to go back to the original castle? Because I can't... That bugs me. I feel like there should be... How do we get to the other area? That's the thing. The show was only on for one season, and it just didn't do that well, I don't think. Wasn't one season, I think? It wasn't very good, and again, one thing that will bother me till the day I die about some of the shit that they do is... Margot Robbie is a beautiful woman, and they did everything they could in that movie to make her ugly as hell, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. I don't. Well, maybe if we go back to the original castle. Let's see. Birds of Prey will go down as being one of the worst superhero films, if not the worst superhero film ever. Like it's going to be like oh, it just wasn't good. It was so bad. And again, I don't care how hard people worked on it. I don't care how many people wrote the movie and all that. A turd is a turd, and you can try to defend it all you want to, but in the long run, it's still a frickin' turd. And they did do a Birds of Prey show. Dina Meyer was in that, and Dina Meyer's on my list. It had some... it was a different show. I don't know. It was not that good of a show, quite honestly. 27 more experience points to level up. Oh, come on. There we are. Well, there was 2 Suicide Squads. The first one was not that good, although according to the director, there was studio interference out the ass on that. Apparently there is a cut out there of it that's different. Yeah, the Electra movie's pretty bad too, yeah. Down. Let's go see if that part's unlocked. We'll see. Oh, come on. Oop, wrong. Didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. The James Gunn Suicide was okay. I don't think it was... there's people who think it's pretty good. I thought it was okay. In order for them to get that right, they're going to have to... First of all, they need to establish characters. And I can remember when they did the first Suicide Squad, and they cast Harley Quinn, and I told Desi, I said, I feel so bad for Margot Robbie. And she's like, why? And I said, she is going to be so scrutinized for her portrayal of Harley, whatever it ends up being, because I didn't even see 14. I didn't even see how she was going to do, because they basically just said that they announced that she was going to be it. I was like, Harley is so popular that there's going to be people who hold her to a standard she probably will not be able to reach. And actually, I was proven wrong. She did a good job, and people liked her portrayal, and they stuck with it through another 2 movies. But y'all aren't wrong. That oh, come on, bitch. Level up. Aha! It opened now. Juiced. Maxim, it's really you this time, right? So I see you've run into my other self. Yeah. I see. I was nearly taken over by him. Dracula's strength was so overwhelming. Don't say that. You must stay strong. Listen to me. When he brought Lady to this palace, he hid her in a castle forged by the fabric of my mind. By losing my memory, I protected her, but I think I've reached my limit. She's in the Lord's room. With this bracelet, you can gain entrance as well. I can't just leave you lying here like this. You must. We can't let him get a hold of Liddy. I got it. Once I've saved Liddy, I promise I'll come back for you. Go now. It's up to you. Oops. Yeah, the second movie definitely had more humor in it. I think that's what you have to do with superhero movies. A big reason why the Snyderverse failed is because they took it way too seriously. It was way overly dramatic and way overly serious, and it just didn't need to be all that. People want to see superheroes, and there needs to be some sort of I don't want to use the word camp, but there needs to be more humor in there. And while I can watch Gal Gadot run around all day in that Wonder Woman outfit, that doesn't necessarily mean I think that those movies were good. And say what you want to about, you know, the Henry Cavill. He was not the reason that Superman didn't really catch on. He did a great job. It was the writing. It was the directing. It was too serious. It was too Jesus. Because did you know that they were trying to make Superman an allegory for Jesus? It's exactly what they were trying to do. You gonna do some speed running there, Alucard? Ah! He still shot me. You prick. I agree with you. He's got all those powers, and he just let his dad. He let Pa Kent die. He wouldn't have done that. He would have tried to save him. With a magic spell. I hope this is where I'm supposed to be to get to the next part of the game, because this looks very similar to... Well, he can run really fast, so I agree with you. Why would they... This is the staircase. I hope this isn't the end of the game. Hint card 3. Kneel before the round gate. Be taken to a different place. Okay. I agree with you, Grizzled. 100%. I don't think... I don't want Snyder anywhere near the DC stuff anymore. I would much rather they get someone's fresh take on it. And we're back here. Okay. Well, the Justice League animated series was fantastic. I agree. But see, the big problem with DC is real simple. This is the biggest problem with DC is I feel like I shouldn't be here. Pazuzu. The Exorcist. I really do believe that good Lord. Let's see here. There we go. What they need, the problem with DC is that they have been so trying to fast track. Leedy, Juiced, is it really you, Juiced? Are you all right? Are you all right? Are you injured? I'm fine. Maxim had me tucked safely away here. Oh, I see. Didn't he come with you? Maxim's waiting for us outside, I think. Hey, what happened to the person that brought me to this place? That's Maxim, actually. You mean that you don't know who it was that kidnapped you? Until Maxim came to my rescue, I was blindfolded. I see. Okay, well, let's try to get out of this place. Yes, let's go. So this is where you've been hiding. He, too, is a bored man. No! Lady, I shall have this maiden for myself. No, Joost, save me. Damn, I must hurry after them. Anyway, the biggest problem with DC is they felt like they were having to do what Marvel had done. Fast-tracked. They needed to fast-track it. And I'm sorry, you really didn't need to fast-track it. You need to set up your characters. You need to have a Superman movie. You need to have a Batman movie. You need to have a Wonder Woman movie. You need to have that stuff, so... Ooh, gosh. Okay. And 11:45 on the... You need to set up the characters, and they're trying to do... They're like, we need to do what Marvel did in 2 years, instead of doing it like Marvel had it, where it was like a huge, long build-up, introducing characters, that kind of stuff. DC's like, no, we need to do that, but we need to do it a lot faster than they did it. Yeah, they need a solo Superman movie. And they need, to set up everything properly. Where again? But they're never gonna give it enough of a chance. That's the thing, is that because they're not getting what they want quickly enough, they're going to end up, I wouldn't be surprised if Gunn is out at DC because he doesn't like Orange Man's son-in-law, which whatever. But overall, it just comes down to that they're trying to fast track things that you shouldn't be fast tracking. You need to have time to set up the characters. You need to get people into it, and they're not able to do that right now. They haven't been able to do that. Yeah, you're exactly correct. You need to have the Holy Trinity. There we go. You're absolutely correct there. You have to have the Holy Trinity to go off of. That's the only way you're going to. You have the most popular, some of the most popular characters in the entire world. You have to give time. You have to set those up. You have to get people involved with those, with those characters to bring them out, to get people interested in them. Otherwise, you're just basically spinning your wheels and trying to, again, fast track something you can't fast track. Another boss. Okay. Another Minotaur. Shit. Try it again. Yeah, you're right, and again, it comes down to being able to properly set up what your universe, and if you're not able to set your universe up properly, you're going to fail, and that's why they have failed. That's why they are not anywhere nearly as popular as Marvel is, because guys, we have to remember, the Avengers cast before RDJ and the MCU, Iron Man was not exactly the most popular comic book character known to man. He wasn't. He got there because he got there because of RDJ and the MCU, but he was not an insanely popular character before the MCU. So if you're looking at popularity, and you have Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman, especially Batman, why the hell aren't you trying to take more advantage of that? Spider-Man was far more. It still is more popular. There are people right now that will go see Spider-Man when it comes out that will give two shits about Doomsday. Oh, come on. Frickin' prick. Now, trust me on that one. The, Spider-Man is the most popular character Marvel has. But, because of what they did with the MCU... they can't. I don't think they can kill him off. According to the contract with Sony, between Sony and Marvel, I don't believe they can kill off Spider-Man. Which is another reason why they can't say it's going to be Miles Morales, because that's not what the contract says. They can't replace Spider-Man. It has to be Peter Parker, according to their contract. They can have a Miles Morales like offshoots, like they are with the animated movies, but still Peter Parker is in there. There are certain things they have to abide by from a legal perspective, that if they don't, they could lose control of the character, and Sony does not want to lose control of Spider-Man at all. And as long as Sony continues... Yeah, I read that yesterday, that apparently they're saying it's going to be the same as Infinity War, that it's tested as well as Infinity War. I will be interested to see if that holds up true. Especially since... I mean, principal photography is done, right? But still, they're probably going to have to do some reshoots. There's always reshoots. And they're trying to get the... They also have to worry about, the CG. Alright, let's see. At least now we have new map to unlock here. And the armor's rogue. You know what? That's one of those things where, yeah, she's gorgeous. But with all due seriousness, I want them to be loyal to the character, the character description. So, Rogue is supposed to be a Southern Belle. I don't. That's what I want. I want her to be a Southern Belle. Good gravy. That asshole. Boy, those guys hurt. I'll look here. No, wrong button again. Castle A. I think we need to go back and recover. Rogue had a lot of charm and other things. Yeah, I mean, Gambit should have a Cajun accent. And the funny thing is that people are like insulting Channing Tatum for his accent as Gambit, and it's like he's from Louisiana. He's doing a pretty decent Cajun accent. It's not the best one, no, but it's authentic. He loves the character. He's wanted to do a Gambit movie forever because he's Cajun. He's from Louisiana himself. But yeah, Rogue should have a Southern accent. She should sound like she's from Alabama or Mississippi, Georgia. It is funny how he makes fun of the accent. But that's the thing, is that Deadpool is from Canada. He probably doesn't even know what a Cajun accent is. Even though Cajuns, well, Cajuns, some of them did come from did come from Canada. A lot of them. Well, that is some new armor. We need to look at that. Where's our armor here? Equip. Double mail. Ooh, look at that. That goes way up and... Hell yeah. Let's go save that, because I don't want to lose that. Is that what he said? Well, he's always wanted to do a Deadpool, or not Deadpool. He's always wanted to do a Gambit movie. Again, he's from Louisiana, so Gambit means a lot to him. I think it's interesting that he's going to be in Doomsday, considering he was never really officially part of the X-Men movies. Yeah, the rumor is it's... I mean, they've already started to do One More Day, right? Which is the most divisive Spider-Man story ever told, I believe. And they kind of already dipped into that with No Way Home. And now they're continuing it. I believe, well, Spider-Man was supposed to come out before Doomsday. Or, I'm sorry, after Doomsday, I mean. So, they're going to introduce mutants, I think, in that movie, as the big rumors that Sadie Sink is going to play Jean Grey. And she's actually the villain of the movie. That guy's a bitch. So what they were supposed, from what I understand, they weren't supposed to really bring mutants in until after Doomsday, and now it's looking more like, and now it's going to be kind of out of order. And we don't even know if Spider-Man's going to be in Secret Wars. He should be, but we don't know if he's going to be. That's what they're doing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was supposed to come out, I think, yeah, they said it was going to come out after Doomsday. They were trying to sandwich it in, but then production delays and all that. I mean, there's all these rumors that I've heard that they might delay Doomsday again. I don't think they're going to. I would be shocked and amazed if they delayed it again. I think it will be out this holiday. Damn it. Nope. Damn it. Where the heck? Okay, go over here. With all due seriousness, I would have probably brought out Doomsday first. But that's also, as we were discussing last week, why Famke Janssen's not in Doomsday that we're aware of. Is because Sadie Sink is going to be their Jean Grey, and they don't want to confuse the audience more than they're already going to be. Die again. Where's their... I am so bad at hitting the wrong buttons. You have to be careful. Unless I get a life up, that would be nice. Because the life up will be refill my health. Oh wait, I have healing meal. That's right. If I stand still, I'll heal. Back Haley Berry Storm. Yeah, yeah, they should. How could you not? But haven't a lot of the folks that were X-Men in the X-Men movies have said that Marvel never even called them? Yeah, that's Famke Janssen. But according to what Alucard told us last week, they never even called her. Never even called her. Okay, we got health now. Let's re-equip our double mail. What are the other things we have here? Because Guardian hands. We do have bracelets, cloth helmet, kettle hat. No. Hard gloves. No. Shin guards. No. Makes attack go up by 3. Holy ring. Increases the strength of the axe. But I think they're not going to cast her, or at least not in this movie, because I think again they don't want to confuse their audience more than they already are, and they're going to go with Sadie Sink as their girl. Ooh, good. For Jean Grey, and if they have 2 Jean Greys, especially since one of them isn't even established yet. If there were 2, if they were to cast Sophie Turner and Famke Janssen, they could get away with that because they were both established as Jean Grey. But Sadie Sink is not established as Jean Grey yet, so they're probably going to forego that. And as we talked about too, it's Jean Grey is insanely powerful and could crush Doom. Plate mail. Not as good. Probably crush Doom. I know there's people would probably say, no, she wouldn't. Here's our guy. What's he got? Oh. I'm out of gold. That's okay. Well, those aren't as good. Why did I buy them when it said they would be better? Thought I had a lot more money than that. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, again, they don't want to confuse their audience more than that's going to be. The multiverse stuff is already. Oh crap! It's 12. I need to go to lunch. Right? Let's get up. Go on. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and break for lunch. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and raid out real quick. And I'll be back in about an hour, and we'll play more. Play some more, and then we'll go from there. I just got carried away. Okay, let's see. Let's go here. So, guys, give me, like I said, give me about an hour, and I'll be back. And we'll pick up right where we're leaving off. Okay, so don't go far. I will see you guys here in about an hour. Okay, let's wait until this shows up. There we go. There. See you guys soon.